Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I know my hair looks crazy right now. Let me fix it up. I'm trying out this new heatless hair curl hack, and it's always risky to do that. Well, this is the second time I've ever done it, but it's always risky to do it on the day you're gonna go out and the day you need to go out with the hair that you have done. So let's see how it turns out. But I had this in since yesterday night, and it is now the next afternoon. I'm going out tonight. I'm really banking on this hair looking normal. Let's see. Oops. Okay, this is the fixing process, just in case you guys are curious. So I did this on freshly washed hair while it was still kind of damp. And the first time I did it, I didn't have the curls secured as well, and it still turned out pretty nice. I could insert a picture, but brushing it out tends to help. I like this blowout style because it kind of reminds me of Sabrina Carpenter, who, if you know me by now, I am obsessed with. I love her style. Oh, it's a bit messy. This is why it's always a huge risk to do it on the night before you're supposed to go out and actually be seen in public. Okay, so I went to the washroom and kind of brushed it out, and I think it just needs time to settle in because last time I remember taking it out and it looking insane as well, and then I let it sit for a little bit and it looked fine afterwards. So let me just get started with my makeup since I don't have much time anyways. So what am I here to talk about this week? I wanted to talk about growing up and growing out of your old self, because eventually in life everybody grows up and becomes a different version of themselves. At least I hope they become a better version of themselves. Their interests change, things about them change, their personality changes. I think that's the case for me, at least. I have interests that I grew out of, as people do naturally. I have become a different person in terms of my personality. I've become more confident, more sure of myself. I have different interests than I had as a kid. But I love the feeling of reminiscing on your past, things that you used to like, the things you used to enjoy watching, the TV shows you liked, the YouTubers you liked, social media influencers that you liked, celebrities. You know, that nostalgia factor of when you like listen to music and songs from your childhood. For me, my childhood was like in the early 2000s, 2010 era. And I'm thinking about this a lot recently because, well, obviously Y2K fashion has come back into style. Flare jeans, flip phones, digital cameras, bedazzled things. All these things from my childhood are coming back into fashion now. And that's how you know you're getting old, because I feel like every 20 years, fashion from 20 years ago comes back in. So when I was in high school and university, 80s and 90s fashion was super in. And now that I'm like a full adult, I'm turning 25 this year, 2000s fashion is coming back in, and I feel that's how I know I'm getting old. Soon enough, I'm gonna see 2010 to 2020 fashion coming back into trend, which is like the early Instagram era of fashion and makeup. I think it's gonna come back after this 2000s Y2K trends. This is how I know Y2K fashion is back. First of all, because of the whole TikTok trends make it pretty easy to see what trends are back with like all the TikTokers and the new celebrities, like whatever they're wearing, like Charlie XCX, Addison Rae, Tate McRae, Sabrina Carpenter. Well, Sabrina Carpenter is different. She does more like vintage, retro, 1950s, 60s showgirl era. But you can tell 2000s fashion is back with the flare jeans. And I know this because recently I went to the store and I bought 2 pairs of flare jeans, and they cost almost $100 each now. $100 for a pair of jeans is very expensive, and that's how you know it's in style and in trend. And that made me a bit sad because I used to love flare jeans as a kid, and then I stopped wearing them because they went out of fashion. and they were cheap, very cheap, anywhere you went to go buy them because nobody wanted to wear them. Just like skinny jeans. Nobody wants to wear skinny jeans anymore, but it's coming back in 10 years. Mark my words, in less than 10 years, skinny jeans is coming back into fashion, just like flare jeans. Flare jeans were so out of style for the last like 10-15 years since my childhood, and so I stopped wearing them. I also stopped wearing skinny jeans, but I never got rid of them. So I have flare jeans from when I was 12 years old, and I'm still wearing them now because, well, they just barely fit. They're still a little bit too small, but I refuse to get rid of them. I still wear them. I wear them actually the most. Out of all my jeans, my flare jeans from when I was 12 years old, I wear the most. Let me show you guys. Okay, these jeans, they're like bedazzled and all the bedazzles are coming off, and these bedazzled jeans, they're too small for me a little bit. They're really uncomfortable sometimes to wear because they're too tight on the waist, and they're like low-waisted, but I still wear these to work. I wear these everywhere. I wear these out for like casual, more formal events, and I will never get rid of them, and I'm glad I didn't when I was a kid because I knew they would come back in fashion one day. But anyways, I don't fit any of the ones from me in middle school and elementary school, so these are the only pair that still fit. I will not get rid of them. But that's the reason why I had to go buy new ones, because I just decided one day, I was like, I'm gonna wear flare jeans again. And then for some reason, that exact season, flare jeans came back into style. And yeah, maybe that was my own fault. But that is a huge wake-up call to me to stop following trends and to just dress however I want. Fashion trends come in and out, right? And this is why I have kept all my skinny jeans as well, because I feel like skinny jeans are never gonna, like, I know people say they're gross, they hate them, they're not cool anymore because they're so tight and like not fashionable anymore. But I have like 10 pairs of skinny jeans and I refuse to get rid of them because I know they're coming back in style soon. Give it another 5 years and they will be back. And you know, people will never stop wearing skinny jeans even if it's not in style. I still wear them sometimes. I don't care what people say. I think that fashion trends can be a little harmful. I fall into them sometimes, but I don't really support fast fashion. It is bad for the environment. It is bad for your closet. It's bad for your mental health to be buying new clothes every week. Like, I find myself falling for these trends sometimes as well. Recently, I've been obsessed with looking into red, cherry red, bright red cardigans because red is like the new color, I think. I've always liked red as a color, but since it's gone into fashion, like sometimes I just get these visions. I'm like, I need to buy this red cardigan for no particular reason, and it doesn't match anything else in my closet, and I know I'm never gonna wear it even if I buy it, even if I really like it and I'm getting dreams about it. I know that buying it is gonna be a mistake and I'm gonna regret it. But every once in a while I cave in and I buy it, and I spend way too much on this item of clothing that I probably never end up wearing more than once or twice, and it's pretty wasteful. The clothes that I've worn the most in my life are clothes that I bought not because of a fashion trend, just because it's a basic piece or something that I like. Like, for example, this top. I've had it for years now and I wear it all the time. This cardigan, it was my mom's in the early 90s or 80s. And a lot of my clothes are from when my mom was young and she handed them off to me. I feel kind of like a snob sometimes when people ask me, where did you get your pants from? Where did you get your cardigan from? Where'd you get your shirt from? And I'm like, actually, it's vintage. It's my mom's, so I don't know where she got it from. And people will compliment me and say that it looks so nice and it's like super on trend or trendy. Timeless styles never go out of fashion. So I've kind of really embodied that into my shopping practices, where it's like I'll only buy something if it's like a basic or something that I know can be paired with a lot of other clothes very easily. And I think my mom had such classy style and fashion taste when she was young, because I still get a lot of compliments on the pieces that she has handed down to me. That just shows how timeless they are. I aim to do that with my closet, or at least not be wasteful with the things I purchase. Like, even if they're not that timeless or fashionable or whatever, I will continue to wear them. I will continue to keep reusing and wearing them, because I don't want to be that person that just follows trends and that person who like buys an unnecessary amount of clothes. But I have always been that kind of person in the past, and I just recently realized, you know what, I gotta stop, and that I have to be more considerate of our planet Earth, as well as my closet, because I recently also did a closet clean out, which I told you guys about. I realized I have way too many clothes that I bought and will never wear, like, ever again. Like, pretty new, relatively new things I just bought in the last couple months or year. I'm like, why did I buy this? I don't think I will ever wear this again. I don't think it even matches my style. I don't think it goes well with the other pieces in my closet. Like, people say you have to shop in a way where you know you will be able to get a lot of wears out of something and it will match with all of your existing clothing, because I find that for me personally and a lot of other people, when they shop, they look at the piece itself and they buy things based on liking a certain piece, but that piece might not fit into your closet or wardrobe. It doesn't match with the other things you already own. That means you have to buy more things to match with that piece. Like, if I buy a really fancy top that doesn't match with any of my skirts or jeans or pants, then I need to buy a really fancy pair of pants. So then I need to buy a really fancy pair of shoes. Then I need to buy a really fancy pair of earrings. Then I need to buy a fancy bag, because nothing I own matches with the item that I bought. And I think that makes you realize that you really need to shop consciously and need to understand what you're shopping, why you need it, and how much you're gonna wear it, and what is the purpose. Like, I bought a couple dresses in my last year of university, and I've only worn them to that single event that I went to, like a graduation or a dinner dance. And yeah, it was wasteful. Like, I spent hundreds of dollars on clothes that I will never wear again, most likely, and if I do, like, I don't have anywhere to wear them to. Growing up has taught me that it's okay to not be trendy, because regardless of whether or not people think you're fashionable, the clothes you wear, all that matters is that you like them. Things go in and out of fashion all the time and you can never keep up, and the only thing you can do is wear what makes you happy and to not cave into what other people think is cool or trendy at the time. I mean, personally, I've never gotten rid of any clothes that came back into fashion just because I'm a hoarder like that, but recently I've been cleaning out my closet and I keep thinking, what if beachy pants come back into fashion for casual wear? What if flared jeans go out of style in the next 2 years? What if my dress becomes super outdated in like the next summer? Because I tend to be the type of person that shops the season after, so I'll shop for things once they go on sale and the season is over. That risks buying pieces of clothing that become out of style by the time the next season rolls around. So if I buy a summer dress at the end of summer, I'm gonna have to just hope and pray that people don't think it's super uncool by next summer. I realize thinking like that is really useless, and nobody really cares what is in style, what's on trend. You just have to wear what makes you happy and what looks good for you and what works with your body type. Because I realized when I was doing my closet clean out that like there are clothes that I bought that were trendy and on trend and don't look that good on me, and I bought them just because they were trendy. There's pieces of clothing that I wear that don't follow any particular trend. The ones that stay in my closet are the timeless pieces, are the pieces that I got handed down from my mom. Clothing I bought in high school are like hand-me-downs from my friends. We're a family, you know. It's really not necessary. Spending more does not mean you will have better clothes. Anyways, that's my huge fashion rant. What else do I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about nostalgia. I don't know how I got back into this fashion topic and societal pressures of the fashion industry, but I wanted to talk about some of my favorite TV shows as a kid, just because I am obsessed with that era, and I feel like everything is being ruined nowadays. Like, I hear my favorite show when I was a preteen/teenager was Victorious, and of course there's a lot of allegations around what happened with the cast and the producer Dan Schneider, who like abused a lot of his underage stars on his Nickelodeon shows, and that's so unfortunate. I am very sad to hear that. But they're removing a lot of scenes and they're changing the show, and it's still on Netflix, but basically it's not the same anymore. Same with a lot of the children's shows I grew up with. I hear they're all changing. Like, I was talking about this with my friends. Dora has changed. I don't know, Franklin has changed. That was a huge part of my childhood. Blue's Clues was a big part of my childhood. I wonder if things like, I really loved Bearston Bears. I wonder if that is still around and if that has changed. But I would be very sad to find that out. It has been a huge part of my childhood, a lot of these shows, and all of the shows on Disney Channel, that was my actual childhood, like Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place. God, I love Selena Gomez. I really loved all those stars at the time. I feel like it was such an iconic time. Since then, nothing really iconic has happened. Well, I guess Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter and Zendaya came out of that time too, so maybe I'm wrong. But like, everything feels different when you were a kid. I feel like one of those boomers that is like, nothing is the same anymore from when I was a kid. Everything is ruined and nothing is good anymore on TV. Wait, do people even watch TV anymore? That's not the point. It's just like nostalgia is so different for everyone these days. The nostalgia changes for each generation of kids, right? I think about now and I'm like, what do kids get nostalgia over? For me, it was YTV and Family Channel. Or Disney Channel. Was it Family Channel or Disney Channel? I think it was called Family Channel. Like, nostalgia over those shows, like the cartoons, Pokemon, Teen D, or what was it called? Teen. It was on YTV. It was like these teens that worked in a mall, and Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, and then Family Channel was all those shows like Shake It Up. That was not a good example. Zoe 101, Hannah Montana, Shake It Up, Wizards of Waverly Place. I think the latest I stopped watching was around Austin and Ally. I became too old for that after that. But yeah, like what do kids that grew up after 2000, I was born in 2000, like what do kids after 2000 get nostalgia over? I'm like genuinely curious. I still get nostalgia over artists like Nelly Furtado, Far East Movement, like the one that did G6, Justin Bieber in his My World 2.0 era. That was like so nostalgic for me. And then YouTube, I think I talked about this already on my channel, but like PewDiePie was my everything. Like I was obsessed with PewDiePie. And there was like a couple baking channels that I liked, like Rosanna, Penier, the one that was friends with Markiplier. And then I really liked those like food eating competition YouTubers. Like there was a Japanese girl and then there was Matt Stoney. I really miss my childhood. Those times I felt like I could watch content all day. I could watch all day, and nowadays I just feel like I don't have the attention span for things and nothing hits anymore like it used to. And I just wonder, what do kids nowadays get nostalgia over? Like genuinely, I'm curious. It must have been like things that I had as an adult. So like, do people get nostalgia over, I would get nostalgia over One Direction. So people nowadays get nostalgia over like, I don't even know. I can't think of anything. Like maybe Casey Undercover. Do you guys know that show, Zendaya, when she became an adult? That show was like after my time. But I feel like kids get nostalgia over that maybe. Or like, what is something new? Like CoComelon? Do people get nostalgia over CoComelon now? Like I got nostalgia over all their Treehouse TV shows like Dora and stuff. Do people get nostalgia over CoComelon and like JoJo Siwa and stuff? Because I'm just so curious. I have no idea. Genuinely, I want to know. Can you guys let me know in the comment section? If you are born in 2005 forward, what is the most nostalgic TV show, clothing item, social media meme, music artist that you get nostalgia over? Like a generational turning point. Like that's what I want to know. Because for us it was like Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, like their breakout era. I don't know what kids watch nowadays. I'm really curious. I love learning a little bit more. I would love to learn a little bit more. I'm so in my own world and I don't know what kids or people younger than me get nostalgia over. I can't find my old flip phone. I used to have a flip phone that I would text on, and I used to record like little voice notes on it, and I don't know where it's gone. It's like a red flip phone. I think it was LG, and it was cute. And I also had like a Walkman. I mean, that's before my time. That's like my dad's generation. My parents had a Walkman that I would listen to at home. I had the TV that was a huge block that you could plug headphones in, like the old headphone jack, which iPhones don't even have anymore. But I used to have a TV that was so big and heavy that you could plug headphones into, and I would watch TV shows on there and plug my headphones in there so I didn't wake anyone up. I used to turn on the TV at 12 a.m. and watch Backyardigans on Treehouse when I was a kid. I used to watch Pretty Little Liars on MTV. I would sneak watch Next, which is basically this game where you would vote people off by saying next and trying to race the clock. And then there was a show where, it wasn't The Biggest Loser, but there was like a weight loss show on MTV where they would go in and like clean out the entire kitchen and the entire fridge of someone who was overweight and like help them achieve their fitness goals. And then it was like super dramatic, and I would love to like sneakily watch that when my parents weren't home, because MTV wasn't for kids, it was for like adults. Or MTV Cribs. I loved MTV Cribs. I can't believe I made a whole video on just me talking about nostalgia and stuff that I grew up with. And I want to know, like, how old are you guys? Like, what did you grow up with? And what are things that bring you good memories from your childhood? And maybe it's different from all around the world. Like, I'm just curious. What did you guys grow up with? Where did you grow up? When did you grow up? I just put on this Love by Killian sample testing perfume. It smells like cocoa butter and vanilla. It smells really good. Anyways, I must be going now. So this is the final makeup look. I did it pretty quickly. These are the curlers I used. They're like heatless curlers that I bought from Amazon. They came with a scarf, but I didn't know how to use it. I think the hair looks nice now. I don't know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I know it was a chit chat, no theme, no topic video, but sometimes I just want to make videos like this and show you guys what I'm up to, what I'm thinking about. And if you have any ideas for future videos and you want me to talk about something in particular, please drop a comment below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.